Now that gold is going up, and I believe gold is going to keep going up, it's going to go to, triple or quadruple. I think they're just going to go ballistic. That's going to take away a lot of the impetus and the hype in order to reinstill confidence in the money. I can't think of anything other than a return to a gold standard that would do it.
If you own gold or silver, you can't afford to miss this. Gold bugs, pay attention. This could be huge. Every market crash, we've seen metals take a hit. But this time, the game might be changing. Why? Because massive amounts of physical gold are flowing back into the US. Does this mean gold is finally ready to break free? Peter Schiff just dropped a bombshell answer. If you own gold or silver, you can't afford to miss this. Let's get into it.
Okay, so we've seen metals often drop in previous market pull downs, but do you see it being at least somewhat different this time with gold holding the line due to the amount of physical bullion being imported back into the U.S. recently?
Well, I think what's significant about gold still being around 2,900 and right near its high, and Bitcoin being deep in a bear market, down like 30% or whatever it is from its peak. And in fact, Bitcoin is substantially below its peak price in November of 2021 in terms of gold. So despite all the hype and all the money thrown at it, Wall Street, the slick Madison Avenue ad campaigns and the Super Bowl ads and the NFTs and El Salvador and MicroStrategy or all this crap, Bitcoin has gone down versus gold. Gold's had none of that money behind it, no advertising. The public's been selling gold for over a year, yet gold keeps going up and Bitcoin's going down. And I think one of the reasons that Bitcoin was able to thrive in the earlier years was because gold was going nowhere. Bitcoin came on the scene in 2011, and that's when gold peaked at about 1,900. And then gold went from 1,900 down to 1,000 in 2015, and it didn't even get back above 2,000 until last year. So gold really went nowhere for the whole period of time that Bitcoin went from pennies to 100,000, right, or somewhere near there, and not quite 100, maybe 60, 70,000. And so it was the fact that people were getting frustrated with gold that led people to buy Bitcoin. And then people said, look, gold sucks. It's going nowhere. Bitcoin's a much better store of value. It's gone up 10x. It's gone up 20x, which doesn't make it a store of value. It just means the price went up. But people thought, well, that's the same thing as being a store of value. Well, it's not. But my point is that now that gold is going up, and I believe gold is going to keep going up, it's going to go to 4,000, it's going to go to 5,000, it's going to go to 6,000. And Bitcoin is going to be going down. And that's going to take away a lot of the impetus and the hype that got people to buy it. Because if real gold is actually performing, if real gold is going up, then why do I need to fool around with fake gold? Why do I need this digital copy of gold when the real thing is doing great, right? It was one thing when the real thing wasn't going anywhere and Bitcoin was going up. But when the real thing is going up and Bitcoin is going down, what's the argument for Bitcoin? So I think it's going to be very difficult for Bitcoin to recreate the conditions that led to its original success.
Okay, got it. And then when this move happens, and I see it happening, sooner than later. I mean, do you think there will be a difference in demand, when it comes to numismatics versus just, your generic 1 ounce gold bar from like Val Canby?
Yeah, I mean, numismatics, that's a collectible market like baseball cards or paintings, so it depends on the collectors. I think in general that if there is a big bull market in gold and silver, that generally means that more people are interested in collecting rare coins. I don't, recommend that people, get into that. It's a lot more specialized. I recommend gold as a store of value, as a monetary substitute. A rare coin is not that. I mean, yes, a rare gold coin. You might pay $100,000 for a gold coin that has an ounce of gold. You're not paying $100,000 for the gold. You're paying it because it's one of 10 coins that still exists,
right?
And it's 150 years old and whatever it is. Just like when you buy a baseball card, you're not making an investment in cardboard. right? The card that whatever that paper is worthless. I mean, you're buying the rare, card, the rookie card from Babe Ruth, and there's only 3 left, and I got mine's in perfect condition, right? So that's what you're buying. You're buying a rarity, and there has to be demand for it. Like just being rare. If nobody cared about baseball, if there was nobody passionate about baseball, then these old baseball cards wouldn't be worth very much. But because you have a lot of people that grew up as kids collecting cards, they love the sport, they have their heroes, because there's a big market, and some of those people succeed and become very rich, they want to own these things. Right, so you have to have it. There's like they talk about there's crypto, the NFTs. No one's going to want to collect those things. No one's going to give a shit about those. And so it's all same thing with these meme coins. Nobody is going to want a collection of meme coins.
So what is gold now? Now I'm not saying gold's going away either. Listen, I'm not saying gold's going whatever. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going away. I don't think any of this is going away. You know what I mean? But I'm saying like the government rugged us on gold. Literally. So like it's the same thing. So what's I love gold. I love silver.
Well,
I love all
the government didn't rug us on gold, in that when we went off the gold standard, gold was at $35 an ounce or $42 an ounce. So if you own gold, you made a killing when we went off the gold standard. It's just that if you owned US dollars, you got killed, because before we went off the gold standard, your dollars were backed by gold. When we went off the gold standards, your dollars were backed by nothing. And that's why prices went up. So they rugged the dollar. They didn't rug gold. They rugged the people who held dollars. The people who held gold, were fine. They made a lot of money. And so it's a different situation. Now you're saying, could governments that are holding gold, could they decide to sell their gold? They could, but I don't know why anybody would. I mean, gold is the best reserve asset that a central bank could have, and I don't know why they would want to sell it when they keep buying. And all the gold, no central bank is down on their gold. That's the one asset that they own that nobody has a loss in. And so that's the most stable thing that a central bank can have to back up its fiat currency, is to have a reserve of gold. And so I don't think governments are going to stop buying gold at all. In fact, I think more governments are going to be buying more gold. And so, and they're going to rug the bondholders. They're going to rug people that have fiat currency. They're going to create inflation. They're going to destroy the value of their debt, because there's no way they can repay that debt. So they have to inflate it away.
So and it'll never get backed by gold again. Will it ever get backed by rare minerals like gold again? Is that possible?
No,
because
no.
where are we going with all this? Because if Bitcoin's not it and the dollar's not it, and then you know what I mean? Like, so it's like we're all in this weird.
No. I think gold will. I think eventually we'll be back on the gold standard, because I think once there's a complete loss of confidence in fiat currency, once you have really rampant inflation in the major economies, especially the United States, in order to reinstill confidence in the money, I can't think of anything other than a return to a gold standard that would do it. So I think we're going to go back there. I mean, it's not an accident that we've used gold for thousands of years as money. And along the way, you can go back to periods of time, ever since they invented the printing press, there have been countries that have gone off the gold standard and tried fiat money. And it's never worked for a long time, and they always go back to gold. So we've only been on a fiat system, really, for 50 years, which is a long time relative to past, attempts to use it. But if you want to compare 50 years of fiat to 5,000 years of real money, it's a blip. And we're going to go back to gold. And so let's say, somebody is studying the monetary history of the world 1,000 years from now. The period that we were using paper is just, maybe it'll be a chapter or a few pages in a chapter, right? Because it's going to be a short period. We will be back on a gold standard. There's no question in my mind that that's going to happen.
Thanks.
If it turns out that those ETFs don't have the gold, then the price of those ETFs goes down and the price of the actual gold goes way up, because now, the gold's not actually there, and people who thought they owned gold don't have it. Now they have to go into the physical market and buy it if they want to get gold. But Yeah, I'm not just mildly bullish. I mean, I think that gold stocks are primed because I think the Fed is going to go back to QE. They're going to cut rates, and the biggest beneficiaries are going to be the gold mining stocks. I think they're just going to go ballistic, and I think people just buy them now. I mean, I think they're just really cheap, and we have a great portfolio at Euro Pacific Gold Fund. Um, as I said, EPGIX is the symbol for the no load share class that you can get anywhere. But I mean, I think we've built a great portfolio. We got a lot of really small companies that I think have explosive potential. So I think that's the best way to play this next leg up in gold, even more so than physical gold. I mean, I've been recommending physical gold for 20 years, 25 years. It was below $30. I mean, 300 when I bought it from my first clients through the Perth Mint. Now, um, it's 10 times that much. But the gold stocks are so ridiculously cheap that for people who don't have any positions in gold, I would wait off a bit on the physical, and I would just get in with the metal, with the share, with the stocks, and then when we get your first, triple or quadruple, then you can take some profits and buy some physical. Then, I mean, that's kind of what the strategy I would recommend now, because I think there's so much potential in these mining stocks that you don't want to just buy gold. You don't want to buy gold that might go up 30% in the next year when when if that happens, these gold stocks can go up, five times that or more.
If you found this insight valuable, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps. And if you don't want to miss more game-changing updates like this, subscribe and hit the bell icon so YouTube actually lets you know when we drop the next one. Big things are coming. Stay tuned.